So good morning everybody and a very warm welcome. It's Ros here. So today what I'd like to do is just talk to you for a few minutes about the idea of I guess what we call resting in mindfulness awareness. This can also be known as choiceless awareness, but I'm going to refer to it as resting because I can kind of relate to it a bit more easily. I know that when I first started to practice mindfulness, going back quite a few years now, I kind of had the goal or expectation that if I practice mindfulness, I'm going to end up arriving in some kind of blissful state, feeling wonderful and calm and peaceful, and having some sense of freedom from thoughts. And I think it was when I started to practice resting in awareness that I came to realize that actually all that does is it creates kind of a tightness in the mind and an increase in agitation. So actually did the opposite. So when I refer to resting in mindfulness awareness, what I mean is just simply being with whatever is present in our experience right now, whether that be thoughts that arrive, emotions in the body, physical sensations, or being with all of our senses. So it's not necessarily about latching onto, we can do this with too much effort often, latching onto and using an anchor to help us to be present, such as the breath. It's more about having a sense of just sitting and resting with an open awareness and allowing whatever arrives in our experience to just be there. So we're connecting with that sense of awareness. So we have a sense of allowing and accepting, whether that be a sense of anxiety, whether that be a sense of feeling quite excited and happy, it doesn't matter. Practicing resting is about allowing ourselves to be with whatever arrives. So it's almost like we show up where we are in the body, and we're like opening up to how we feel, and then we just rest there. And in the words of Gendon Rinpoche, he says, nothing to do, nowhere to go, nothing to achieve, and everything happens by itself. So with this practice, we're seeing if we can be with whatever arrives without resisting, without fighting against, without wanting it to be different somehow, but just being with. And if unpleasant sensations arrive, then maybe is it possible for us to just be aware of the unpleasant sensations and perhaps just say very quiet with a soft tone, a quiet yes when the sensation arrives. Just be with whatever's there. So I'm going to guide you through this practice. I'll begin the practice with a period of settling the mind and grounding the body, and then we'll move into the practice of resting. So whenever we start a formal practice, it can be really helpful to take your awareness to your posture. So sitting in an upright position with a straight spine, if that's comfortable for you. And softening the shoulders, opening the chest. With your hands resting lightly on your lap and your feet resting on the floor. And closing your eyes if you want to, or just lower your gaze so that you've got a soft focus in front of you. Beginning the practice by just getting a sense of the body sitting in the chair. Bringing your awareness into the present moment of sensing and feeling the contact that the body's making with the seat of the chair. And the feet on the floor. You're not thinking about the feet on the floor or imagining them. We're sensing and feeling. What does contact feel like? Noticing the hands resting in the lap. Moving your awareness now so that you are beginning to feel the body breathing. So we can begin to sense into the movement of the body as it breathes. Perhaps noticing with the in-breath that sense of expansion in the body. As the lungs fill with air, the ribcage expands. And then that sense of turning around and noticing the out-breath. That sense of falling away as the body lets go of the breath. Noticing the difference between sensing and feeling the movement of the body as it breathes, compared to when the mind wanders back off into thinking. And when you notice that the mind's wandered, just acknowledge the thoughts. It's not a problem. Just gently guide your awareness back again to sensing the movement of the body as it breathes. Spending a few moments now regulating the breath. So just allowing the in-breath to be slightly deeper without forcing it in any way. And then allowing the out-breath to be just very slightly longer. Maybe slowing it down if that feels right for you. And seeing if you can Make the in-breath and the out-breath a similar length. And counting can help with this. Breathing in to the count of 2 or 3. And breathing out to a similar count. So you're giving the mind something else to do. Focusing on the breath that's a little deeper, and also counting if that helps. And just focusing now a little more on the out breath. And perhaps getting a sense that as the body releases breath, it also tends to soften and relax a little. Maybe the mind can learn from the body as the body releases breath and relaxes. So too can the mind start to release engaging with thinking, and it can begin to settle. Just allowing the breath now to return to its natural rhythm, letting go of any counting. So having a light, relaxed awareness on the breath, just as it is. Beginning now to move into the phase of grounding. Sensing and feeling into the body. Sitting in the chair. Feeling the weight of the body. The contact that the body's making with the seat of the chair. Feet on the floor. The hands on the lap. Just spending a few moments now briefly scanning the body and allowing any tension that you might notice to soften with each out breath. Starting at the feet, noticing how the legs feel. Moving up through the torso, the tummy and the chest. Softening with each out breath. Noticing how the shoulders feel. The arms and the hands. Are they clasped tightly or soft? And sensing into the neck area and the jaw, the face. Softening with each out breath. Now moving into the resting stage. So letting go of any anchor And just allowing yourself to sit doing nothing, just resting in awareness. So with this wide awareness, allowing whatever experience and sensation arrives, just to be there. Not grasping, not pushing away, not resisting. Just sensing into that space of awareness. May have sounds in it. There may be thoughts. There may be physical sensations, the breath. Allowing it all to be there just as it is. Effortless. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, nothing to achieve, and everything happens by itself. Just resting. You may notice that your mind is repeatedly getting caught up in thinking. You're tumbling into the stream of thinking. And that's absolutely fine. If you notice this happening and you're getting lost in thought, you might like to just spend a few moments using a support to help ground you again. Perhaps the support of a very light, relaxed awareness on the breath, bringing the breath to the front of your awareness. Just very lightly, while still being aware of perhaps sounds, physical sensations. And then when you're ready, returning to resting again, doing nothing. Just observing. Just for the last few minutes of this practice, just now taking your awareness back to the breath. Just having a light awareness on the breath. Not shutting out other sensations. And then ending the practice when you can no longer hear the sound of the bell. Thank you very much, everybody.